हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev.
माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। माता जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद। I'll be back in 2 minutes and then we'll begin. 2 more minutes. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। तो हम आज चर्चा कर रहे हैं, ओह सॉरी, today we are discussing about Swambhuva Manu, the interaction between Swambhuva Manu. Actually, it's the marriage of Kardava Muni and Devahuti. Last week we saw how Lord Narayan he appeared to Kardava Muni pleased by his austerities. Mm, Gave him told him what will happen in the future. In 2 days, Swambhuva Manu will come with the Satarupa and their daughter, and they will give, and she will be exactly as per your. Um, um, she will be exactly how you have been meditating upon a future wife. She'll be exactly like that. Um, mm, she will exactly match your temperament, kind of. Mm, and she will satisfy you by her services. Her services will be very satisfying and pleasing to your heart. Um, and then uh, when and through both of you, 9 daughters will be born. They will, through these 9 daughters, the sages will beget children. And then I will appear as your son, and then I will take care of her, and then you can um, um, take renounced daughter. So in this way, Manu was staying. Manu was waiting. Then after 2 days, as predicted by the Lord, Swambhuva Manu came, and he bowed down, touched the feet of Kardava Muni. Kardava Muni was very pleased. Then Kardava Muni, Manu did not say anything. Kardava Muni started glorifying Manu. That the kings are the representative of the Lord. Um, the Lord is a maintainer, and He is maintaining through such kings. You, whatever evil elements are there, you curb them. You yourself, being the king, you yourself go out everywhere and curb the evil elements and um, encourage um, those who are practicing dharma, or support them or give them protection. Those who are weaker section, you give them protection. So because of you, everything is in law and order. um, you have so much responsibility and such a great um, kind of service, and still you have taken time to come to this humble hermitage to meet me. Therefore, since you have come here, I shall do whatever you say. So in this way, Kardava Muni, he's a Brahman, he's a Muni, a great personality, and he is glorifying the king in this way. And then this chapter begins. So now, Kardava Muni, after glorifying Manu, Kardava Muni stopped speaking. Um, and Manu felt embarrassed to hear his own glories. I mean, naturally, when you glorify um, a devotee is like a little bit embarrassed to hear his or her own glories. Um, so then Manu started speaking. See, this is kind of, we can see how devotees exchange through this also. Kadava Muni is glorifying Manu, and then Manu starts glorifying Kadava Muni, then Kadava Muni starts glorifying Manu. So that's how. um, the devotee exchanges are or should be. So now Manu spoke the following words. Manu said, um, Brahma created the Brahmanas like yourself for the purpose of propagating the Vedas. All of you Brahmanas are full of austerity, full of knowledge. You all have all the mystical powers, and all of you are very averse to sense gratification. And for the protection of such great personalities, the Brahmanas like yourself, the Lord has created us the Kshatriyas. Um, um, the Kshatriyas are described as the arms of the Supreme Lord, where Brahmanas are described as the heart of the Supreme Lord. And the Lord protect the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas through each other. So the question can be how Brahmanas protect Kshatriyas by giving them knowledge and guidance. Because if Kshatriyas do something wrong, then the reaction is waiting for them. So Brahmanas always guide the Kshatriyas in a proper way. So the Kshatriyas live very peacefully and advance spiritually also. So in this way, and Kshatriyas give protection to Brahmanas in a way, um, feeding the Brahmanas. It is described. Previously, we saw the Lord tells mm, the four Kumaras, Lord Vishnu tells the four Kumaras that I eat through the mouth of Brahmanas, giving them whatever the cows. They are like here it is said, the Brahmanas are by nature they are averse to sense gratification, but the basic needs like the milk, whatever is used for sacrifice. So in this way, the Kshatriyas, or if there is any evil elements, the Brahmanas, the king should protect the Brahmanas. So in this way, Brahmanas protect the king. So in this way, the Lord maintains both of them through each other. Um, then Manu said, Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you. Now, there are two things. Mm, um, as you have kindly explained the duty of king, two things. First thing is um, Devahuti marriage. So naturally, when you are going to offer your daughter to somebody, um, and you have never met them, so some doubts may be there. And then when you meet them and by their words and by their personality, you can make it out. And then when Manu, because he is very discriminatory, he is the king, naturally, he is the king, king of the whole Bharatvarsh. So they are very sharp in discrimination. He's a pure devotee also. So just by meeting Kantava Muni, he could understand this is a genuine saint. Another thing, as a king, there are many doubts in him about his own duty. Many times we are doing something and we don't know what to do, what not to do, what is right, what is wrong, how to deal with this particular situation. So many times these doubts keep arising. And the nature of a pure devotee is when you go to a pure devotee, they will speak which will exactly address to you according to your situation. You don't even have to ask any question to them. They just Krishna speaks through them. I remember when I was going through a lot of trouble in my mind. My mind was giving me a lot of trouble. This is like few months after I joined full time. Then I went to Varsana Maharaj, and Varsana Maharaj just looked at me and started speaking exactly what I wanted to hear. And my doubts were removed. So I could understand that these devotees are great. Don't need to express also, and they will help you. So Manu said, just by meeting you, simply by meeting you, all my doubts have been resolved. And as you have kindly explained the duty of king, thank you for describing the duties of king. Just by that only, um, some of the doubts of the king was removed. Um, it's very there is a lot of internal emotions and exchange going on when Manu and Kardava Muni they are talking in this is Satya Yuga. and they are speaking with each in the small hermitage completely by Bindu Sarovar, full of greeneries and the forest animals, and the whole environment is surcharged with goodness, um, and whatever, and like how pure the devotee is, that much the words will penetrate. And this is Lord Kardama Muni, self-realized soul, and every word he spoke like completely penetrated Manu's heart, and Manu was already sold out. um, Also, this shows, like Manu is telling, thank you for telling the duty of king. Also, this shows that it is the duty of Brahmana to guide the kings about their duty in each circumstances. So Manu was also overwhelmed. Manu said, "It is by my great fortune that I have attained your rare association." This is also very nice that having the association of such saints like Kadamuni is very, very rare. The king may go around, but how many people are there? It's a big kingdom. There maybe I don't know how many citizens are there. Um, but how many saints like Kadava Muni are there? And Manu could recognize that. So Manu said, "It is by our great fortune that we have attained your rare association. It is my great fortune that I have touched your feet and taken the dust of your feet on my head." This is Indian tradition. Whenever they meet the saint, they bow down and touch their feet. And Manu being the king, Manu also has that culture of humility, that he took the dust of Kadava Muni and put it on his head. Then it is my great fortune that you have given me good instruction. Hearing from pure devotees, that itself is a sign of great fortune. This opportunity to hear from them. And it is my great fortune that I was able to listen to what you said with open ears. This is also a great fortune. That when with open ears we can actually listen, we can understand. Um, Their speaking is a great fortune, but if they speak and my ears are closed or my heart is somewhere else, my thought is somewhere else, then I miss the opportunity. But you spoke and I could hear very attentively. This is my great fortune. I took the dust off your feet. This is my great fortune. And I have attained your rare. This is my great fortune. See, Manu is telling to Kardama Muni is telling to Manu, you are so busy and you are doing the work of the Supreme Lord by maintaining everybody, punishing the evil, and supporting the pious, giving protection to the pious, and you are traveling all over. And in such a busy schedule with so many things to do, you yourself personally has come to this hermitage. I am so grateful. We will see that when Manu goes back to his kingdom, thousands of people are waiting for him. With the royal road, they are receiving him. This is Manu. He is the king, and great personality, Manu. So much, and then he himself has walked to the hermitage of Kardama Muni in his airplane and spent time and heard from him. So Manu said, so Kardama Muni said, "You have come such a busy schedule. I must do whatever you say." And Manu's consciousness, he is telling, I have received your association, which is very, very rare. Both are true. Manu is also super busy, and he made, and but not many saints in his own kingdom also like Kardama Muni. They live in hermitage, they don't live in the kingdom. We were discussing about Jaidev Goswami. And Jaidev Goswami, when he was in Navadvip area, then there was a king, Lakshmana. So Lakshmana Sen. So Lakshmana Sen went and he heard about Dashavatar Stotram composed by Jaydev Goswami. So he went and he told Jaydev Goswami, "You are the actual kind of property for entire kingdom. The epitome of our kingdom is having you. Please come and stay with us in the kingdom, in the royal palace." And Jaydev Goswami became very unhappy to hear that, "Please come and stay in the royal kingdom with me." Then Jaydev Goswami said, "I will leave Navadvip area itself." Um, um, then the king said, "If you leave, then what is the point of me having this kingdom? Please stay, I'll give you a serene atmosphere filled with trees." So, so these saints, they are not easily, their association is not easily available also. Um, so both of them are expressing how rare it is that we have met you, the king, and we have met you, the great saint. Um, then Manu, after glorifying Kardama Muni, Manu said, I have a prayer. Please hear my prayer. Manu said, my mind is very much troubled because of affection of my daughter. I am thinking about my daughter's marriage and I love her so much and I'm looking for a suitable bride. My prayer is that you please accept Devahuti as your wife. And then Manu said, she is my daughter. She is also the sister of Priyavrata and Uttanapad. Priyavrata is also like a Muni doing austerity somewhere else. Uttanapad was a great king. Everybody has heard about Manu, everybody has heard about Uttanapad, everybody has heard about Priyavrata. So, emphasizing that she is coming from a great family lineage. Um, she is also seeking a suitable husband of similar age, authentic character, and good qualities. Uh, when Narad Muni one time he came to our kingdom and she heard about your glories from Narad Muni, how you practice austerities and your sincerity and your devotion and your qualities. And Karda Muni is also known everywhere. So Narad Muni went and told her and Devahuti. He told Manu, Devahuti heard and since your age is also matching and since the first time she heard about you, her mind is fixed upon you since then, although she has never seen you. I assure you, my dear Kardamba Muni, she will be a suitable wife for you in every way, and she will do all her household duties very perfectly. And to deny an offer which has come of its own accord is not commendable even for those who are detached. So basically, he's willing to Kadava money even though you have no desire and you are averse to self gratification and you have no attachment. Still, to reject an offer which has come of its own accord is not very commendable. Um, mm. Then the king says, this is very nice actually. Think about it. The king says, one who rejects such an offering but later begs for it from a miser destroys his fame and honor. Means if an opportunity comes, take it. If one rejects that opportunity and then later on hankers and later on desires and goes and begs from a miser, why it's called miser? Because miser won't give. So when opportunity comes, you don't take, and then you hanker for the same thing, and later on you go and beg from a miser, then it destroys your fame and honor. You go and tell the miser will say, no, I will not give it to you. So it's so much dishonor. The fame and honor is gone. So rather, one should accept the opportunity when it comes by its own accord. And you, as far as I know, dear Kadava Muni, you have not taken a vow of perpetual celibacy, and you have decided already to get married. And here is suitable wife for you, my daughter, sister of Priyavrata and Uttanapad, looking for a suitable husband with good character and good qualities and similar age. And her mind is already fixed on you since she heard about you from Narad Muni. She will do everything that you want. Um, all the duties, household duties, perfectly she will do. And you also have not taken the vow of celibacy, and you have decided to get married also. And since you have decided to get married, here the opportunity is coming. um, Such a genuine girl is there and you have a desire to get married and you reject her and then you go and ask somebody else's who is not willing to give, then it will hamper your fame and honor. So please accept her. So in this way Manu proposed. We can see how the kings would propose their daughter's marriage to a saint. This also shows we here on one more aspect that previously the most suitable husband was those who were spiritually advanced. Because it is said if somebody is very spiritually advanced, then the son that will be born from them will also be very powerful. Um, We see the example of Parasar Muni, great saint, um, when he met Satyavati. Vyasadev was born. So when the father is very powerful, spiritually self-realized, then the progeny will be great. And here also we see the Lord will be born, and nine daughters of equal caliber, devotionally, spiritually were born. So then Kadava Muni hears the proposal of Manu, Swambhuva Manu, and Kadava Muni says, certainly, as you have said, my dear king, I do have a desire to get married, and your daughter has not given her words to anybody. So, according to Vedic system, our marriage can take place. I accept the proposal. Um, let whatever your daughter's desire is, let it be fulfilled. On the other hand, who would reject her? Her bodily luster excels the beauty of her ornaments. Devahuti was so beautiful. When you see her ornaments, her own beauty far excels the beauty of the ornament. So, such a beautiful girl, who will reject her? And she is so beautiful, I have heard, she is so beautiful that even the best of the Gandharva, Vishwavasu, when she was on the terrace playing with her ball, and Vishwavasu was passing by from the top of the palace. When he saw Devahuti, he was stunned by her beauty by looking at her, and he fell from his airplane. She is the ornament of womanhood. Um, she is the ornament of womanhood. Means so many women are there, half men, half women, billions of women are there. But she's the ornament of womanhood means because of her presence, the whole womanhood is glorified. That kind of girl she is. Therefore, what wise man would not welcome her? Um, and On the other hand, she is the daughter of the great king Manu and sister of Uttanapad. Who would not accept her? Um, mm, mm. She is unseen by those who do not worship Lakshmi. Means it is to see her itself is a greatest fortune. Those who worship Lakshmi Devi, who is goddess of fortune, only they get a chance to even see her. That is her qualities. Yet she has come by her own accord, with her mind fixed on me. Um, Walk to my hermitage. Who can reject her? But there is one condition. So basically, wholeheartedly, Kadavamuni said that very fortunate to have Devahuti as my wife. And then Kadavamuni said, but there is one condition. I will stay with her till she produces an offspring. Once she has a child, I shall accept the life of devotional service accepted by all the saints. Basically, I will give up my household life and take Vanaprastha and sannyas. I'll stay with her only as long as she has a child. Um, mm, then Kadavamuni said, the highest authority for me is the Supreme Lord Himself. He is the origin of all the Prajapatis, and basically, He is my highest authority. He did not say anything further, but He gave a hint because the Lord is the highest authority, and Lord Himself told Kadava Muni that once I appear, you can renounce. And this shows, there is like uh, sometimes we are really attached to um, an offer that is made to us. And when we are very much attached to the offer, then we don't want to say anything which may not be very palatable because out of fear of that the offer may be rejected. But we see here this Satya Yoga, and we see here the straightforwardness of Kardama Muni. And it's like, he really likes her, but at the same time, he said, it's such a great fortunate, the girl who is so beautiful and full of good qualities, and who cannot be even seen by those who do not worship Lakshmi, and whose mind is fixed on me, and who has not given her words to anybody, and who is your own daughter and sister of Uttanapat. Such a personality has walked to my hermitage. with an offer of marriage. Who can reject her? But Kadamuni is so straightforward, but on one condition. So that also shows that we should also be straightforward in our presentation. And when we are attached, fear comes, fear of losing comes. But here we see Kadamuni is not having that fear of losing, but he is honest and straightforward, and he knows that there is no need to hide on, because he knows that whatever the Lord wants will that will happen anyways. So why do I have to compromise in any means? And he's a sadhu. Sadhu means direct, straight. And then Kadava Muni fell silent, and Kadava Muni started thinking of Krishna. So there's another quality of Kadava Muni, that when they are speaking, but the moment they are silent, they think of the Lord. Whatever interaction is required, and when the interaction is done, then again they think of the Lord. So Kadamuni stopped speaking and he started thinking about, he's thinking about Krishna. And when he started thinking about Krishna, a smile appeared on the face of Kadamuni. And Devahuti, her head was down, and with the corner of her eyes, she looked at Kadamuni, and there was a slight smile on the face of Kadamuni, and she was so captivated. Um, Already her mind was fixed on him, and when she saw that slight smile on the face of Kadamuni, she was like completely taken over. Um, hmm. Then um, Manu saw the desire and saw the joy in the face of Devahuti, and Manu saw his wife Satarupa, and she was also so glad to see Kadamba Muni. This is like natural. When somebody meets a sage of that caliber, joy natural comes in one's heart. Satarupa was so satisfied. Devahuti was like lost in thoughts of Kardama Muni. Then Manu gladly offered his daughter to. He performed the marriage according to Vedic rites to Kardama. Um, and whatever they had, some extra cloths in the airplane that they came in, whatever jewelry they had, some household articles, um, Manu and Satarupa gave that as dowry. So in Satyayoga also this dowry used to happen. So they gave clothes and jewelry and other household articles, presents, valuable presents. He is a king, everything he has is very valuable anyways. So he gave those to Kadamuni and Devahuti, um, got them married. And then Swambhuva Manu started feeling agitation. His mind was agitated by feeling of separation. Just like the father, I mean, naturally, father loves the daughter so much. And now he is going to go away and he don't know when he will see the daughter again. So with both his arms, Swambhuva Manu embraced his daughter affectionately and poured tears again and again. Um, and she was also um, embracing her father, and they both were crying, crying, crying. Um, um, then they parted, and Manu and Satarupa they sat on their airplane, um, and the airplane started to fly. And as they both were going away, Manu and Satarupa they were looking at their daughter and Kardamamuni who were watching them, um, and they both looked at the wealth of the banks of Saraswati, the wealth of Bindu Sarovar, the greenery, the animals, and the whole scene. And it was so joyful and so pleasing and so satisfying. And the sage is so capable. So Manu and Satarupa felt um, mm, mm, very peaceful and accomplished by handing over their daughter to Kardama Muni. So then, Swambhuva Manu and Satarupa they went to then Swambhuva Manu went to his own kingdom, his own capital. His capital is called by the name Barahismati. Barahishmati. So when it's also called Brahmavarta. So when the citizens, because he's the king, so when he went back and when the airplane was descending, when the citizens saw that Swambhu Manu and Satarupa are arriving back, they were overjoyed. This is another. uh, great situation where the citizens are overjoyed by seeing the king. Many times, especially in Kali Yuga, there is so much envy from superiors. But here the citizens and Satarupa and Manu are descending down, and the citizens are looking at them, and they were so much, they were so overjoyed. Then there is a description of the city of Barihishmati, which is a kingdom of Manu. It was filled with all kinds of wealth. There was nothing that the city does not have. Very well to do. And it is said that Lord Varahadev also came here. Varahadev, after killing Hiranyaksha, he came here also. And when he was here, from the Varahadev's body, some hairs dropped there in this kingdom. And those hairs were transformed to Kusha grass. Kusha and Kasha. Kusha grass and Kasha grass, which were used since then by the sages to worship the Lord. So Manu, as soon as he entered the kingdom, he was received by all the citizens. The first thing Manu did before entering his own palace, Manu spread a seat. He took the grass and made a kusha and kasha grass. He sat on that seat and he worshipped Krishna. And he said that it is by whose grace he has attained this kingdom to rule is by the mercy of Krishna. So as soon as he entered the kingdom, first he worshipped the Lord. Um, and then after worshipping the Lord, Manu entered his own palace. And it is said, and the internal chamber, the palace of Manu, it was filled with such an atmosphere that destroys the three miseries. Means it was so comfortable. The palace of Manu. He's the king of the whole Brahmavarta, whole planet Earth. So his kingdom and his inner chamber was filled with such. It was the atmosphere in his chamber was such that it would free one from threefold miseries. This threefold miseries is miseries because of our own body, mind, natural calamities, other living entities. The palace was such that the moment anybody enters there will feel like heaven or like so comfortable, as if filled with an atmosphere that destroys the three miseries. Um, then Manu enjoyed with his wife and subjects without conflicting the religion. Means he would enjoy. Means he would laugh, he would speak, he would take prasad together with his wife, and he would live a very joyful life, but um, joyful Krishna conscious, Krishna centered life. That's how he would rule. And every morning, Swayambhuva Manu, it is described, every day, every morning he heard Krishna Katha. Although it seemed like he was absorbed in material happiness, he was not degraded. Um, it's just like just Krishna conscious, saintly, kingly life. Basically, all the comforts are there. Nice prasadam is there, night comfortable, whatever sitting arrangement, everything, all the wealth, everything, subjects, servants, the costumes, everything like top class. So he seems to be absorbed in material happiness, although he was absorbed and he was using everything, but he was never degraded. Um, he enjoyed all the material happiness in a very Krishna conscious atmosphere. Like, like um, anasakt way mein, without attachment, he would accept everything. But his life was very much focused on either sitting on a kusha grass and worshipping the Lord, or hearing Krishna Katha every day in the morning, performing various sacrifices for the pleasure of the Lord. Although he was very comfortable materially also. Uh, in I'm tired. In this way, Manu lived a very long life. How long Manu lived? Manu's life lasted for 71 yoga cycles. 71 Dwapar Yuga, 71 Kali Yuga, 71 Treta Yuga, 71 Sati Yuga. Manu lived a very long life, but his life did not go in vain. Why? Because Manu, throughout his life, that long life, he was absorbed in hearing about the Lord, thinking about the Lord, writing books glorifying the Lord, chanting the names of the Lord, chanting and glorifying the pastimes of the Lord. In this way, although his life was very long, it was completely Krishna conscious. And thus, um, he transcended the threefold miseries. No misery, no misery. Everything was, nothing was against the religious principles. Um, um, then uh, Maitreya Muni says, how can misery um, um, bind a person who has taken shelter of the Lord? Anybody who takes shelter of the Lord, misery cannot touch them. In fact, were discussing recently in the Bhakti Shastri that one of the quality of pure devotional service is kleshagni. Kleshagni means material distress is gone. So Manu is a very good example who ruled the kingdom, has a wife, has a subject, has everything. But he personally was engaged in hearing, chanting, remembering, glorifying Hari Katha, Krishna Katha, and doing everything according to Shastras. Um, um, and yeah, um, and that's why no pain or no misery would ever bind. Although his life was very long, not a moment went in vain. It was very fruitful. And Manu also, he himself would practice perfect sadhana. He would also teach others of different varna and ashram about their duties and how to engage their duties in a Krishna conscious way. Manu is a great pure devotee king, and we hear that Manu name is spoken by Bhagwan Krishna also. Krishna says, I gave this knowledge to Sun God, and Sun God gave this knowledge to Manu, and Manu gave this knowledge to Ikshvaku. So he is basically a grand disciple of Krishna from that perspective. From Krishna to Vivaswan, Vivaswan to Manu. Um, and he understood the whole science of Vedic knowledge perfectly. He would practice it himself and he would teach others also. This is the duty. Na? In this way, the knowledge is coming down in a disciplic succession and they would distribute that knowledge too. So that's a very fruitful life Manu lived. Mm. I have thus spoken about the wonderful character of Swambhuva Manu. Now hear about Mother Devahuti. So that's the end of the chapter. Um, Yeah, basically, how begins with how Swambhuva Manu glorifies Kardama Muni. First, previous chapter, the sage glorifies the king. Now, the king glorifies the role of Brahmana and the qualities of Brahmana. Then offers his daughter, glorifies his own daughter. Kardama Muni glorifies Devahuti, accepts the daughter. They both got married. Then Swambhuva Manu and Satarupa went back. And what were the activities of Swambhuva Manu and how Krishna conscious he was when he went back to his kingdom? Okay. Are there any discussion?
Tanvat Pranam Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu Dhanvat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Very interesting conversation, Prabhuji, between Manu and Kadar Muniji. Prabhuji, my inquiry is like we hear that a pure soul can read the mind of one who approaches a pure soul, he can read the mind. So, Prabhuji, my inquiry is that we, like as a sadhaka, we have um, obstacles to advance spiritually, and when we approach a pure soul, um, and we have this intention to seek help from them, so is it like at that time should not we have this um like naturally a pure soul will understand what is going in our mind, no need to ask separately, just relish the moment that you are with a pure soul? Is that a good approach? or shall we express our shall we, I mean, we may not
Ask
speak it.
question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Shall we ask question? No?
Yes, shall we ask that, or shall we just relish the moment of association with the pure soul rather than?
Krishna says to ask questions also. Krishna says, Pari Prashnina Sevaya. You humbly inquire and Tattva Darshina. They have seen the truth and they can impart knowledge to us because they have seen the truth. So there is nothing wrong. Although in many cases, and it's not that they read the mind and then they answer. It's just Krishna is in their heart and they speak the words however Krishna inspires them because they have Paramatma connection and Krishna wants to help us. So Krishna would just inspire them and they would speak the words and that will go right into our heart and speak to us. And sometimes more questions, inquiries may come, and then we may ask also, and then we attentively hear what they are saying. But yeah, asking question is very good actually because we see so much emphasis on how Arjun is asking question to Krishna now. And here Vidura is asking questions. Sonak Rishi and others are asking questions. Parikshit Maharaj is asking questions. And all these are pure devotees. Sukadeva Goswami, Maitra Muni, Bhagwan Sri Krishna is Bhagwan himself, but questions were being asked in a humble mood.
Yes, Prabhuji. I can connect. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. So I think, yeah, um, I think it's okay to end here if nobody has anything else. Okay, thank you all for joining. My obeisance to all of you. We'll see next week Devahuti's lamentation. We very quickly the chapter takes turns and the Kadavon is about to leave also because the idea is to bring Lord Kapila and discuss for many chapter teachings of Lord Kapila. So the marriage happened like this, and then the marriage is like decades passes like this, and ready also. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavendra ki jai. Thank you very much. Prabhuji's Mataji's Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Very
Prabhuji,
grateful.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
thank you very much.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Girish Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Welcome. Hare Krishna.